someone in the state gave Kyle the gun. Okay, so then that narrative's out. Then they're talking about the man was 17, didn't have the gun or something. But Nick Sandman's lawyer destroyed somebody. I forget what the code was, but he posted on Twitter talking about how actually this young man could have had that gun. Now, some people bring up the fact that, well, he shouldn't have been there anyway because he was violating curfew. So was everybody. If I'm trying to protect my citizens, my neighborhood, my house, there is no curfew when the rioters and the folks trying to burn it down is not observing the curfew. When they're all running around burning stuff, I don't go, well, guys, darn it, we better get in the crib at 9 o'clock to obey the law, as these unlawful people are not obeying it and still running around burning up stuff. Let's go in the house and watch from the windows as they destroy our whole neighborhood and all the businesses. Well, look at that. If we were out there defending this, none of this would happen, but we'd rather be complicit with the curfew. So all of them was violating the curfew. Now, let's talk about this, because honestly, I'm telling you right now, I might get in trouble for this, y'all. I'm sure somebody's going to disagree. But in my opinion, that 17-year-old was a beast. Now, I'm going to tell you why.
Okay? A goat. A patriot.
Look at the attacks that came towards this young man. 3 times. With it. He came out of it. Now, I'm thinking to myself, as we now learn that a 30-something-year-old white dude should be at home with his family, kids, or doing something, should be getting some Z's to get up and go to work the next day. But for some reason, this guy ain't got nothing better to do than harass a 17-year-old that happens to be carrying an AR-15.
Exactly.
Now, I'm just wondering, how rat tight could you be? So you done started messing around, taunting this dude. Started earlier. Yeah, giving, see, that's what they do. Yeah, as soon as you roll up on the scene, if they see you with an AR-15, they're like, oh, I'm sure he's a white nationalist Trump supporter, because they all love that AR-15. So obviously, we're going to yell and taunt this dude and expect this kid, under a stressful situation, being attacked, is just going to say, well, this gun is just for show. So now this guy starts off attacking the dude verbally, following him around, wouldn't leave well enough alone. So later on that night, when he saw Kyle again by himself, decides, I'm going to throw something at this young man who's minding his business. He throws it, misses, but that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. Now he starts to chase Kyle. As Kyle's running away from this grown man who's chasing him, he somehow is able to turn and get a shot off and shoots this dude in the head. Now, the angle of the bullet, all of that stuff shows that Kyle was not in an offensive position where he set up behind a car, took aim, saw the guy in the scope, guys running away, or just mind his business and bing, picked him off. No, this was a fearful runaway turn, shoot.
Right. It didn't end up like one of
the angle of the bullet.
He did.
That man got
the other guy
shot.
Notice,
key thing, Kyle was running away. After just being thrown,
you don't run away.
Being thrown at him, he could have returned fire right there. Oh, this guy, he threw something at me. So I'm just
literally running away from the situation.
That I chased him. Second person who got themselves shot. So Kyle, calling the authorities as stopped the bleeding, notices all these angry people gathering around. Now, I'm just saying, your spidey senses probably would start tingling. It would kick in like, this could get violent. Let me get out of here. So now Kyle takes off again, running, but somebody's chasing him. Forget that thing on his arm called the AR-15. That doesn't matter, because surely after shooting that first man who was chasing him, I'm sure Kyle will stop and take that into consideration. I only shot one guy. It wasn't right. So let me not shoot this same guy who's chasing me, hitting me in the head with a skateboard and trying to stomp my head. So Cal, which I got to give it to him, calm under pressure, somehow after getting hit with the head with the skateboard, slips the kick, turns a defense position. He didn't get up on one knee, get down in a soldier stance, set up, aim. Yeah, let's see. All right, I got him in my sights. Bang. No. This was a I'm under distress, got to save my life. Bang, shoots that dude in the chest, which that guy probably was not expecting. All right. Then the third guy,
you don't expect people to defend the right.
I'm about to get me an Angie Dickinson shot off. I'm about to hit him with the Cagney and Lacey. I'm about to hit him with the Punch and John. Starsky and Hutch pulls out the handgun, and I must say, quite hilariously, gets his arm shot by Kyle. As he has his gun out, bang, ow! Yeah, see, I'm a tough guy. Medic. My hand. Now, if Kyle came to kill folks, he would have kept firing into that guy. I'm just saying. The threat has neutralized itself. Bang. When that arm collapsed,
hi DJ.
Sure something's wrong here. Hey. I'm pretty sure this is not normal that my arm is flapping around. So this guy says yikes and runs off because he gets the message. Cal could have got up off the ground and said, all right, all you nasty rioters, now that I fire my 2 warning shots up in the sky, so all y'all will flee and leave me be.
All is well.
As you're running, because I came here to kill folks. I'm now
a lot is going on right now.
Yeah. DJ, seriously, I have wanted to engage in some kind of dialogue most of the day, but I didn't do it on my channel. So I was working on some material and I've worked on a bunch of things over the last 12 hours, but sometimes you just want to talk. You just want to talk about these things because you need an outlet because, there's still people that I know that are on the freaking plantation. After everything that's going on, they're still on the plantation, DJ. And I'm trying not to go on to a rave or a rant, but I'm telling you, these people are making me want to cuss.
I know.
How do you?
It's a side thing. I'm on this side kind of thing, gang kind of thing, because
I'm glad you're on. Here, let me share out the stream a little bit.
Appreciate you. And welcome to all people who are joining, or who will join, or just watching if you're not joining at this specific moment. Appreciate you for coming on. It's live stream with Autumn. Check her out. Share her. Subscribe.
All right, so I'm going to say... Well, yeah, I'm saying, I'm saying this for the Black community right now. I'm going to tell you, we're at a civil war right now. I'm telling you, they're ready to set this thing off. They really are.
Yes.
They're ready to set it off. And I'm telling you.
Before the election.
That's what I'm saying. And see, the other thing about it is all these people in this placation about racism and this, they're going to mess around and set off, and you're going to run into somebody that's really got some issues. You're going to find a racist with what you're doing. You're going to dig up some. If there's a percentage of racist people out there, you're going to find them in a few minutes, and it's not going to end well for you. All these effeminate men, all these NBA, these athletes crying on freaking TV. What in the entire hell? What is going on, DJ? And I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not. Please don't take this as that I pitted it on to you. Like, DJ,
I know. Trust me. I know.
These are men.
I know.
I'm telling you, there was a time when I grew up that boys wouldn't even cry in front of you. I mean, they could get the slam wind knocked out of them, but they won't. They'll be all up under that football helmet, that practice helmet. They will not come out from under there until they have sucked those tears back in. But you got professional athletes on TV just bawling, crying like little girls.
Men lost the shoulders for the women to cry. That's one.
You remember the movie Steel Magnolias? And do you notice, like, around the world, you got a lot of this matriarchal governance thing going on. You got all these women governors, all these women mayors in the U.S., and not just the U.S., but even in New Zealand, their cases are popping up again. So they're implementing a mask mandate starting this week. Probably today. They started today. Germany, Angela Merkel, $50 fine, $1,000 fine for New Zealand.
Yeah.
And you got Joe Biden in the background saying he's going to do a nationwide 3-month minimum mask, and the CDC just released that there's an actual 6% of people actually have passed on. Check out the CDC numbers. It's just like people would just rather believe what they're hearing on the TV, on mainstream, rather than what they see. If somebody's rioting, they'll let Don Lemon or somebody tell them, "Oh, that's not what you're seeing. What you're actually seeing is a peaceful protest throwing a tomato."
You're right. I mean,
rather than a hubcap.
A lot of people just want to. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. Like I did talk to my family members. They refuse to even. I think maybe so ugly on their side that they can't take it in, and they spend so much time in the entertainment world doing nothing. If they were small business owners, they would have no choice but to feel it. But it's the people that are not necessarily owning their own business, involved in independency, involved in self-reliance that they can't feel the effect and the perspective once you go with a certain narrative. And the plantation, once you keep riding the plantation, anything that goes against the plantation, you become the opposite of what we would call Uncle Tom. Instead of allowing the slaves to be saved, you would you would snitch on the slaves and throw them under the bus. I mean, basically, I mean, it's insane. Yeah, well, I don't know what to call it.
I'm sick of it.
And today was the first time that I'm gonna play this video, but I can't explain it with words. Let me just play this, because this is certain things is just it doesn't make any kind of sense that it's even going on. I don't even know how to describe certain things, to be honest. If certain things get out of control, assassinations are being performed in front of broad daylight. That's all I could say. Roll the film.
Hey, we got a couple right here. Hold it out. Right here. You okay?
Come on. Peaceful what? Peaceful what?
Hey, watch out, bro. She's trying to help him. She's the fucking man trying to help him.
Medic!
Hey, help!
Do you need an ambulance? Tracy, do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, call the ambulance.
Oh wow! What did you just say?
Sir, I'm a medic. You're not a medic. You're not gonna save his life. Stop lying.
You need a medic.
He's really acting like that's gonna save his life. Get out of here. Get out. Thank you. They didn't beat no medic. They got her out of there. She's not gonna say he's already dead.
Anybody see what happened?
Thank you.
Saw a little bit of it.
No, sir.
I just came up.
Was he shot?
Yes.
That was those were the shots that we heard.
Car drive away. What did the car look like?
Yeah, those were the gunshots that we heard from the beginning. He didn't film it. He didn't film
I
that
know
part.
I heard a loud blast. But I didn't-
Exactly.
Seems like I heard of at least one person dying, but I don't know if this is the guy. Is this Portland or is that Portland?
That was the latest in which an individual, a Black Lives Matter leader had let me pause this. A Black Lives Matter leader had and we don't care that we what he said that communist was killed, that communist, like, you gotta get out of this. Like, you're literally shouting at least 100 to 200 people saying that you don't care that this man was murdered in broad daylight. That's the definition of communism. That's what Chinese. That's the. I don't even know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Like, I'm losing. That's what they do in China. Like, that's World War II. When you murder somebody in broad daylight and tout them.
But they're gonna have to be stopped. They're gonna have to be stopped. I don't know. It's. I don't know, DJ. It's just, I'm just saying, like, there's some people that actually think that, this election is going to get us out of all of this. And it's not.
Exactly. It's not.
It's like
commercials, certain people are going to have to, in my eyes, and I have a minor disappointments when it comes to President Trump, but they're significant as far as the actions that need to be involved. They need to put these videos in the campaign.
Yeah,
put these videos in the campaign. There's zero ability to ignore the truth. Once you can physically see the human beings on the streets dead, you forget the polls. Forget the polls. At that point, forget the polls.
I think it's consequential already, because if they steal it, it's a problem.
Right. If he's already denouncing it.
Right.
The ridiculous part about it is Joe daggone Biden said something 2 days ago. Finally. But how many people are dead?
A lot. A lot. And you're right. But see, that's what I was saying.
It's going to be a new T-shirt wearing in promotion of more of a different group of dead people. And I'm going to be the one that's promoting those guys. Due to the death of the protesters, I'm going to be pushing those T-shirts. But it's ridiculous that that even exists. It shouldn't be a list of dead people.
Well, here's the thing. That's what I was saying. I understand that they wanted to present a unified message on the RNC, but you guys are not dealing. There's some ugly stuff going on. Reality is ugly right now. You had 4 days, 4 years of your presidency, and to reveal the combination of what's going on in these streets. And it was nice. It's a nice presentation, but does it depict what's going on in these streets? I don't know. I mean, I just think that we're getting too, what do they call it, too far gone. If you let this train run away, you're not going to pull it. You're not going to pull it back. And I think it's at that point. I don't think the civil unrest is going to stop in November. I think that they're going to they don't care what they have to do. They don't care what they have to do. And then I'm starting to hear things. I can't support this or substantiate it, but I've read something today about some people making threats to come. People are physically making threats talking about removing the president from the White House.
Yeah. That actually, I'm about to play that.
Do it. And I even think I saw something like that.
I'm looking for it. When I pull it up, I'll play it. But that individual is already on the FBI and whatnot watch list, just because of that statement.
They've
You
got
gotta be
so
stupid.
many. They've
gotta
got
be
so
stupid.
many people on lists that are just not. How long does it take to go to the top of the list? What do you have to do or say in order to get to the top of the list? If you can make those kinds of
Say what
threats,
he say what he said. We're gonna
let's see.
we're gonna drag Trump out of office. Forget the election. We're gonna burn this place up and yeah. That's exactly
But you know
what's
what?
gonna
I'm gonna
get
tell
you
you
there.
who else is inciting this mess. Is you know? Have you heard Ayanna Presley and Pelosi saying they want unrest in the streets?
Yes, I
They're
did. I
calling.
did.
They're
And my
calling for it.
family member, when I point that out to family members, they just stop, die. They literally tell me it breaks their brains. It's like the synapses of their brains that agree with them can't agree that that's even a thing. It erupts their worlds. It just everything falls apart once I could boop and just watch this. It tears them apart. They can't even look at it. It's like watching a hurricane come to you. You know it's coming, but you ain't got no choice but to just accept it. Speaking of hurricanes, no pun intended.
But you know what? You think about it is at this point. And I was watching somebody today saying people need to wake up and all that. But you know what? We're beyond that. The war has already started. We passed wake up. We passed the wake up on the clock like 500 miles back. It's too late now. Really, when people start taking up arms or seeing the need to take up arms, it's too late.
Yep. So I have been definitely investigating on militias that have been taking up arms. We got two militias that don't agree with each other, but they seem to be on the same side in a certain way. We got the 3%ers that seem for some reason to be on the side of the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm trying to figure out how did that even happen. 3%ers and the Proud Boys. I'm talking about the organized ones that raised their hands and took the oath. Proud Boys, not the self-proclaimed Proud Boys. Self-proclaimed Proud Boys are guys who just on Instagram and push it. Also, not even just them. Even worse, that's just two. Then you got the Boogaloo Boys. And the Boogaloo Boys, which I understand what a Boogaloo is, because a boogie down Boogaloo means when the government or whoever that is a tyrannical is coming in your house or your home family that wants to trump over your life and murder you in cold blood. That's the definition of Boogaloo. But I don't agree with certain perspectives that they push. If you're back in black, I don't even care. If you're black and Black Lives Matter, I can't support you. I'm sorry. You can't complain about the 3%ers being compromisers when you agreeing with Black Lives Matter. Watching them burn stuff down. But if it happens, it's different because you in Virginia, you live on a farm. You're not in the inner city. And it's our homes. It's our community. So you gotta distinguish yourself. And the elders in the Boogaloo movement, the elders in the elders that's in the Proud Boys don't agree with the younger generational promoters of it. They're in it. They still don't agree. They're older. They don't walk around with ARs in the middle of the city. I'm not doing that. I'm not drawing. I got like a smarter little brain. I'm not drawing attention to myself. I'm just not going to do it. It's different if you post it on IG. Fine. Millions of people posting on IG, and the fact that that's actually true, you won't be able to just kick down millions of doors. But once you walk out the house, it's a different situation. Of the perspectives of people that are already scared. The perspectives of people that are already scared, once you promote the fear, it becomes a different perspective and you lose the mentality that you meant to promote. I do agree with the boo mentality, but I don't agree with the compromise of Black Lives Matter, Antifa, period. I don't even think I need to go on about who Black Lives Matter and Antifa are. But the point is, I don't agree with compromise. I don't agree with compromise with terrorists in general. Foreign and domestic, I took that oath more than once. So some people need to realize what they're doing. And realize you can't just say, well, so it'll be infiltrators in any organization. So that's sweet talk. That's sweet talk. Because if I checked in the French Revolution, infiltrators got their heads chopped off. If the Proud Boys are going to use that example, Boogaloo, switch it, boom. If the Boogaloo Boys are going to use that example, which I watched one of the leaders use that example. If they're going to use that example as a segue into protecting themselves against the government, they can't lose that example when it comes to people that are leaders of the Black Lives Matter organization that want to destroy families. And like, you gotta know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, I don't care about your guns. I just don't care. They don't make me that happy. I love guns, but they don't make me that happy. I'm not a gun nut like that. I love guns, but if you ain't paying attention in your mind, you don't know what you don't know what a communist is. You don't know what an insurrectionist is. You don't know what general lawlessness is. Then you got to figure out what you're doing. Shout out to ABL. So certain people got to realize what they're saying, what they're doing, what sides they're picking, what they're inciting, how easy is it to speak upon a group to incite a traitor inside of your group. Agreed, fine. If you have a big enough group, it will be somebody that's an infiltrator. Fine, but it's still a vetting process. You kick them out. You can't explain to me how you can't kick them out. And if you want to say, okay, well, I'm a security officer. I'm a security officer. I'm not even gonna tell people where I'm working at because it can compromise my job. Yeah, but I'm gonna be protecting a federal building. Put it out there. I'm not anti-government in that fashion. I'm not waiting for some insurrectionist to pull up with an AR, AK, or whatever, or a sniper rifle and cap me in the head because you want to make a political statement. Because if we do that to you, you're going to call us what? Exactly. So you need to understand exactly what you stand for from the beginning. Not just rant off of your power once you get inside of the organization and you become a leader. You need to actually understand what you stand for. You know?
You don't know. You don't know. Hey, I don't know what these people are doing, but I'm telling you, it's getting crazy around everywhere. It's getting crazy. You get in and out where you're going, watch your back. Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's like get off the grid or something.
I'm basically getting to that point. I mean, communicate. The Black Lives Matter and Antifa already heads up on communication to market talk nationwide. So we obviously I'm behind the curve. I'm about to purchase a nation communications. Leave it at that. Not saying nothing else. Period. But yeah, we got to get organized. We got to get organized. There's no more playing around. You got to get serious. It's not a joke. The kid the 17-year-old that situation, he's an intelligent human being.
We got somebody in the comment section, and it's old school. Hi, old school. Da-da-da.
My guy, and I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming in. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Da-da-da.
yeah, forgive me. I got on my rant because I got fed up with stuff. But
That's good. You're just passionate, and you haven't been able to have an outlet for a while.
tell me about it.
I was telling him the same thing. Gosh,
Exactly.
See, I called into Will Johnson's Unite America First today, and I think my phone was not when it got to me, I didn't get the call through because my headphones were not working.
Obama phone.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so you know he didn't get to me on that one, but I'm just saying this is bizarro land, I'm like I don't know. It's kind of quiet around here. I think even LA is a little bit, as they say, it's a little chillaxed right now. A little bit. Surprised. A little chill. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way, but,
I think one of the craziest things I've heard from one of my friends on the left in regards to, what's his name? Whit something? The 17-year-old kid in the Kenosha?
Kyle,
whatever. But anyway, this guy says, well, if he's such a peaceful, well-meaning kid, what was he doing there in the first place? And it's kind of like, is that truly your defense? What were the freaking violent rioters doing there in the first place? Like,
thanks. He actually got a call to protect it from a family friend that he knew for several years. He was only 20 minutes from his home.
Sorry, my internet's stuck in a moment. I may need to reset it.
If somebody gives me that call and I'm able to defend their business, I'm gonna do it. Sorry. If that makes me a unpeaceful person, then whatever.
People forget the average age of the patriots in the Revolutionary War. All these people were in their early 20s, late teens.
Yep.
And they're getting surprised, like, oh, what's a 17-year-old doing out there? Well, you wanted a revolution. Who do you think the revolutionaries are?
And the crazy part about it was the law actually protected him against that situation. Two reasons. One, in his jurisdiction, he's able to receive a firearm and act with that firearm because only if the firearm is gifted to him from a relative. Mm-hmm. Grandfather. So, and he was grandfathered that firearm. So, that's going to be thrown out in court. So then they got to go to the next step. But that's going to be the biggest push. Blah, blah, blah. They talk about state lines. He was 20 minutes away from his home.
No one's talking about the pedophile that was carrying a gun.
I keep saying that all day long. I keep pushing it. And they don't care. The fact that the other pedophile or sexual assaulter got shot 7 times, they don't care about that either. Or 4 times, but they say 7. They don't care about that either. So the next pedophile or a sexual assaulter, he's not going to mean nothing either. Now they're being basically, they got GoFundMe pages. The first one is a $1.3 million error. Like, God.
Ay. Sick. I don't know. I honestly,
What do we do?
The sickest things, But here's my rant. All right, here's a piece of my rant. You got so many black people that are just, to me, some people are just freaking incompetent. You're just incompetent at this point. Because when people say, don't even use the phrase "wake up" anymore. There is no more waking up. We've passed wake up status like 500 miles back or whatever. If you haven't woken up by now, I just don't think you're going to be lost. You're going to be a useful idiot, and you're going to be the cannon fodder for all your woes. Oh, I'm black. I woke up this morning. I'm still black. Can you believe it? Oh my God. That's not even what I want to say, but yeah, Yeah, it's like people like you're a part of your own destruction. Do you see this? The Democrats don't build; they freaking destroy, and they've trained you to destroy yourselves. There's black genocide going on via Planned Parenthood, but you're out here crying and oh my gosh,
black genocide going on via BLM?
That too.
Thank you.
That
There
too.
you
You know, like I'm just saying by now, what BLM and all of these groups between Planned Parenthood and BLM, all these groups and Chirac, they've killed more than any KKK group at this point. Give me a break. Like, where's the Phantom KKK? When the hell did you see the KKK last? Can somebody please?
Who is the biggest, supporters of BLM right now?
The man
The
that
DNC.
said, the man that said you ain't black.
The KKK.
That's right.
There's no one cheering on BLM more than the Triple K right now. They're all
You're
just
right.
sitting at home. They're all just sitting at home, half confused, like, "Hey, we got a night off, boys."
You ain't lying. And you ain't black. Oh my God.
Hey,
Sick.
neither were half since the BLM riot. So.
Ay.
I'll tell you what. But
It's exhausting. I'm it's like freaking exhausting. You know, I'm like I need to go to the gun socials because hey, tomorrow we get to go inside the restaurants. Tomorrow, 25% we can have 40% of the restaurant can be occupied, and the hair salons get
6 hours.
What's that?
It's gonna last for like 6 hours.
What do you get a 24-hour sale? 24-hour reopenings.
What did you say about hair salons?
They're reopening this week. Let's see. It's like you don't even have enough reopening time to go to a movie. You know, it's like you don't have enough vacation time to go to a movie out here with King Gavin. You know,
the salon is going to be open long enough for Gavin Newsom to get his annual perm, and then it's shut right back down again.
You know what I want to do?
Once.
What we need to do is we need to have a concert outside. I don't know what's on the other side of this COVID-19. We need to have a concert outside of Newsom's house and get Eddie Vedder to come and do. Don't laugh at me, but I'm still alive. Oh. The COVID-19 brought me to this song.
Hey, I'm gonna show you exactly what I was talking about when I meant the compromise. When it came to this, I'm trying to figure this out. Proud Boys, 3%ers, and Boogaloo Boys. Hey, what is your opinion on all three of those militia organizations?
You know what? I thought the Boogaloo Boys were just a complete meme. Apparently, they started as a meme, and then they became a real thing. Now I don't know what the F's going on.
And me too.
Now, so for all these organizations, they are by no means a white supremacist organizations.
Agreed.
By no means. They definitely have varied opinions. It does revolve around, I guess, more to the right, more to conservative, or more to libertarian, where they want smaller government because they think government's getting too far in people's business. And I guarantee you, if there was ever some sort of like KKK uprising, these people will be up there to fight it off. Problem is with the BLM, it's just freaking crazy.
That's what I was saying. I was saying the exact same.
Yeah, it's just too it's just one of the most oddest situations that you ever find yourself in. You're like, how does this even exist? You know, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm getting out, you know. Now, we also seen thousands of patriots lining up in Seattle, going down with their Trump flags. I don't know what they're doing, but we're not getting enough out of there.
Yeah. So what they were doing was they were creating a caravan to drive Black Lives Matter and Antifa out of their town specifically. I talked to one of the people. They said it worked, but at the same time, they had to fight them physically. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that. I think it would be different.
I'm not trying to pull up and pop off for anybody. I'm just being honest. I got like a family and stuff. Like I'm not gonna put my human beingness in a position where I know in the foreground I'm gonna have to purposely hurt somebody. But if you come to me, it's a different story. I'm a defender. I'm a standby defender at the home guy. I'm not a go to the situation of the dirt guy. That's just me. I'm not big on going to a bunch of groups and popping off. I'm just not. That's just never been me. That reminds me of gangs. I'm an individual. If you come to me and I got a 50-round drum, you're gonna get the business. But I'm not going to you with my 50-round drum because you're gonna post me on the news and say that I'm an insurrectionist and that god dang that I'm a white supremacist black person, that Trump supporter, and god dang I just want to scare the liberals. So yeah. instead of scaring all the liberals and anti-gun, I just want to make the.
I'm tracking there. I'm tracking there. That's why I don't understand why they don't live in Seattle. Why they're driving through it? You know, if my neighbor is pooping in his own yard, what am I going to stop him from pooping in his own yard?
It's your goddamn
Come
yard.
to my yard. Come to my yard. Try that. It's going to be a different story. But let Seattle burn itself to the ground. It's what they've been doing good at. And all the people staying in Seattle just hoping that it doesn't burn down. They're idiots.
Agreed.
I've been saying it for months. These cities, they're dead. They're not coming back. They're just dead.
Dead.
Pack what you can in your car. Get out now. Restart fresh somewhere else. Don't even bother contacting a real estate agent. You're not selling your house.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah. Only person who buy
those houses are you might as well call them loan sharks. Seriously. So I'm gonna play this clip and then I'm gonna give you my here we go with the ABL stuff, give you my 2 cents, then we're gonna wrap it on up with a bow on top. Shout out to ABL, I appreciate you. But let's get into this.
I said I got my boys here in the Hawaiian shirts, you know. And everybody knows what that means. Hey, officers, that means boogaloo.
A lot of people believe differently about the boogaloos, but the core belief is the fact that we stand for freedom, individual freedom of all, and we're willing to defend anyone's rights to those freedoms.
How are you guys different from the more traditional militia groups like the Three Percenters or like the Oath Keepers?
We won't compromise.
So would you say that the Boogaloo movement is like more extreme version of militia groups?
I think extremity is perspective. I think someone saying that we're extreme or saying someone else is extreme is all based on whoever's going to watch this or listen to this. They have to make their own decision.
Is that right?
Mike Dunn is a 19-year-old gun rights activist and self-proclaimed Boogaloo boy.
So?
The Boogaloo movement is a loose collection of Hawaiian shirt-wearing anti-government insurgents who are preparing for a second civil war, or a Boogaloo, as they call it. What began as a meme made its way into the real world when heavily armed supporters started showing up to protest against lockdowns and police brutality.
This is Peacock. Peacock, baby. It's streaming and it's free.
Thank you.
Free.
Get the hell out of here.
We first met Dunn in February, before he went full Boogaloo. Back then, his group, the Virginia Knights, was coordinating local militias in counties across the state.
Exactly.
I state your name. Do hereby solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Serving with the unorganized civilian militia, which guards my homeland, my state, and the constitutions thereof. Sic semper tyrannis.
Sic semper tyrannis.
That's a military quote.
What will this militia or these militias do?
So the militia that we created today will work together to help out in the community as far as disaster relief goes. And then if need be, they'll provide support for the local sheriff if their oath is ever tested on whether they will uphold the Constitution of the United States or not.
In November 2019, Democrats flipped Virginia's state house blue for the first time since the 90s and immediately got to work on gun control. This galvanized grassroots opposition, especially in rural areas, and militia activity fired up in at least 20 counties.
Right now, we're doing an inspection of arms to inspect what they have and make sure they're okay. They know how to handle them. They know how to clean them and so on. Order up pretty good. Yeah, I like it. How you doing, sir? Right. Thank you for coming out. Like the gear?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Look at this little young soldier.
Clean her up a little bit.
I see that we might need to have a militia just defend our rights if we have to. Hopefully it never comes to that.
You guys are like in tactical gear. Are you worried that that could like give the wrong impression or scare people who might want to join off?
We're here to give the impression that we support the Second Amendment. And I believe this is the best way to do that, by gearing up and being armed. Any type of legislation is passed that allows for the confiscation of weapons or accessories. The militia units will stand by those people. A lot of the gun legislation that was proposed made people realize, hey, they could actually do this, and we've got to have a way of saying no. We won't comply with it.
They want to make women not be able to arm themselves against would-be sick rapists. They want to make minorities not be able to arm themselves.
For the young people that are here today, thank you for coming. We need to get our youth involved. They are our future.
Agreed.
They may be the ones that we have to fight one day, and I don't want to see that.
Agreed.
But not everyone was sold on Mike's vision for a militia.
Exactly.
Some of the older generation expressed concern about the optics.
Just like me.
A lot of us don't want to be seen running around with AR-15s. We want to not be seen as a bunch of gun nuts.
Thank you.
But we want to be seen as people. We have to stay peaceful.
Thank you, Pops.
Chris Griffin is a farmer and fellow gun rights activist. His focus is on protecting his livestock, and he's worried that the growing militia movement in Virginia could take things too far.
In terms of this movement to have legs and to become what you want it to be, which is this community guard and not a bunch of like paramilitary extremist guys running around and, you know, getting into standoffs with federal agents. Like, how do you kind of make sure that it stays within your vision of things?
I think that we need to educate everybody. We need to get people to slow down and see the real picture. The police are restrained by a lot of laws. They can't just shoot you. But if you show up with guns, they can shoot you. So what's the point? Why get into a firefight? The minute anybody starts shooting, we lose completely.
Exactly.
Being a police officer should stand for something. For a city with something to prove to the rest of the world. For people who want to be proud to say, this is my home. But injustice, mistrust, fear, these are things we cannot.
I didn't know that was a commercial.
A few weeks after our trip to Virginia, the world turned upside down.
It's sneaky.
COVID-19 hit the US, governors imposed stay-at-home orders, and armed men started appearing at anti-lockdown and Black Lives Matter protests, some of them in Hawaiian shirts.
A shadowy extremist group is allegedly using unrest across America to foment its own mission of deadly violence.
The group called Boogaloo, which is a fringe group that believes there's an impending civil war.
On its surface, the movement itself seems like one big joke born out of far-right meme culture. The Boogaloo is a term taken from the title of a 1984 comedy. It started as a meme among gun rights activists to refer to a popular uprising. Last year, it picked up steam on sites like 4chan as code for a second civil war. To get around social media crackdowns, the Boogaloo boys started using codes like Big Igloo or Big Luau, hence the Hawaiian shirts. The meme gave Mike Dunn's grievances a language and a uniform. We caught up with him again this summer.
The Boogaloo movement can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. In the French Revolution, they took every person in government and cut their head off on a guillotine. Right. They cleansed government. We did things. We set things.
I'm not saying that's what this is about, but I am saying that a lot of people believe it's time for a cleansing of government.
Dunn is still recruiting for the Virginia Knights, the militia he started before identifying as a Boogaloo.
True.
We've trained over 4,000 Virginians. This is what we do. We teach the basics. We're against big government. We're tired of government overreach. We've come to a point in this country where eventually for our rights, peacefully protesting is not going to be the answer.
Target's right.
And I want each and every one of you to be able to be equipped with enough knowledge to defend yourself efficiently when that time comes.
You hear those words? Peaceful protest.
While the Virginia Knights are inclusive, the Boogaloo Boys as a group are hard to pin down ideologically.
All you gotta do
is, for example, their presence at Black Lives Matter protests.
Thank
you. The problem with the Boogaloo Boys is they're not a cohesive movement.
They were Black Lives
Matter.
Matter.
You can have Boogaloo Boys that are white supremacists and want to harm the George Floyd protesters. You can also have Boogaloo Boys, and this is actually the larger group, that are anti-police, not racist, and they are siding with the protesters.
Thank you.
Some associated with the movement are being investigated for plotting or committing violence. In Las Vegas, 3 alleged Boogaloos were arrested for conspiring to throw explosives into a Black Lives Matter protest. Prosecutors said that they were trying to provoke a standoff with police. And in California, an Air Force sergeant named Stephen Carrillo is accused of gunning down federal courthouse security guards in Oakland, killing one. Investigators found the word Boog written in blood on his van. All of these men have pleaded not guilty. Dunn disavows these Boogaloo Boys and says he's focused on government overreach and gun laws, including Virginia's new red flag law, which went into effect on July 1st. But on social media, he talks more and more about a potential standoff with authorities.
Some people see the Boogaloo movement as a joke. Well, news to you, it's no longer a joke. We're here. We're here to stay. We stand for peace, but we're also willing to go to war. And if they kill me, if they suicide me, I want it to live on, and I want people to know what we stand for and what we believe in.
A major turning point for the Boogaloo Boys was the death of 21-year-old Duncan Lemp. Lemp was killed by Maryland police in a no-knock raid. Police say that they were there to confiscate weapons he illegally possessed, and that Lemp was armed with a rifle. Lemp's family says that he was killed in his sleep. He has since become a martyr in Boogaloo circles.
Duncan Lemp did nothing. I knew him, a great dude. And you murdered him, Montgomery County. Got an officer who murdered Duncan.
And I'm from Maryland.
If you will, I'll challenge you to a fight. That's not a threat, that's an offer. I'm offering you. I'm challenging you to a fight. If you want to fight, we can go hands. And then we'll see you go to prison because we're going to have our justice. Because we are Duncan Lemp.
Did you see his teeth?
You really need to see this right now. At a recent closed-door meeting in Washington,
if you don't
D.C.,
get out of my face, I swear
a man in the news every single day.
You guys can't gather right here. Blocked off areas on the other side.
This is blocked off.
I understand this is blocked
Yes, ma'am.
off, but this is where we could get emergency vehicles through.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the state property right here.
This is our property.
Here we
That's
go.
our grounds. If you're an American, this is our property.
Okay.
This is not the governor's. This is
All
the
right.
people's.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Are you worried about being branded
Ay,
as
ay,
an
ay.
extremist?
I've already been
Like,
branded an
dude,
extremist, so
like,
I'm
what are
not
you
sure there's
doing?
much more to worry about currently.
There's been some situations where like people who say that they're Boogaloo Boys, like in the Boogaloo movement, they've gone and shot up like a federal security officer, or they brought explosives like Black Lives Matter.
Tell me when
protest.
somebody did that who claimed to be a Boogaloo Boy. Name one person who did that who was an actual Boogaloo Boy.
Steve Carrillo.
And he was a self-proclaimed Boogaloo Boy?
Yes.
Say it was a
Just like
Boogaloo
you.
Boy. And he had Boogaloo Boys backing him. Everybody knows that if Boogaloo Boys want to do something with a federal building, it wouldn't be just one of us.
Okay. That means you're organized.
Isn't there some risk in joining a movement that is so wide ranging? Because someone goes and does something really stupid, and then you become branded as like a domestic
You're
terrorist.
always going to have somebody who infiltrates an organization and makes a fool of themselves. So obviously there's some risk. There's some risk in everything you do.
I don't care about your politics. The only thing that protects your right to vote is this right here.
Hell yeah! That's right!
That Second Amendment is the only thing that can protect you. It's an equalizer. We've seen the police officers gassing protesters. Well, guess what? If we all come together and we're all strapped and we're all armed, guess what? They ain't gassing.
Do you want a civil war?
No, we want a revolution. We want laws to be changed in this
You
country that
want
limit
a
our
revolution.
rights.
You're provoking.
How do you go about that?
Taking a stand, not being run over by the government.
Just like if one of these boys was red flagged tomorrow with this law this governor's put in place and they placed a call and I could get there, I would stand beside every one of them. And I would give the officers two choices. One, they can uphold their oath to the Constitution and they can leave and go home to their families. Or two, they can,
Let's get down
try
to
to
business.
proceed. It's that simple.
Let's get down to business. You hear me? So, with that being said, yeah. What is going on?
Well, I've never heard of him before, but I've heard of Vice News before.
Hang on a second. I think I've got the wrong piece of pizza. Okay.
That's just crazy. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm being honest. I don't know what to say. Imagine me as a security guard guarding a federal building. I'm their target. Like, seriously. Like what do I do? Honestly. Other than us, other than my comrades knowing that they're a security threat, like, I don't know.
I think there's a lot more that we need to try to understand about them. I don't understand why, they're showing pictures of them marching with BLM.
That's my point. Like, what?
Maybe that was some early day stuff before it got too crazy. I don't know.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was so deep into the boot, like me now. Like as far as action, as far as Iraq 88, as far as people like that, as far as AK operator, like, we all understand Boogaloo, but it's like, who's this guy? Like, he doesn't represent me. You feel what I'm saying? Boogaloo is the ideal. It doesn't have to be a organization like a gang. It's not what it. Everybody who's watching this, that's not what they stand for. Sorry. And if it hurts your heart and it makes you because you put your hand up and took an oath, that's your butt. That's your ass. I'm sorry. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But that's not what I stand for. I do stand for anti-government and tyrannical government. Sorry. If you coming up in and kicking down my doors, we got something for you. But my point is, I'm not provoking nothing. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not setting up situations in which I'm screaming on a megaphone, on a bullhorn, as Tatum would say, screaming on a bullhorn and trying to provoke anything. I'm not doing it. I'm not with that. So, one second.
Got the COVID? Oh, wow.
Long day.
It's been a long couple of weeks. I've been able to live stream it all. I've just been working every night.
I know. It's like, what happened? What happened?
Just have had too much going on.
Busy. Well, this is a busy time. I mean, kids are going back to school and stuff, and I mean, I have another class this semester.
Been feeling okay?
I don't know. I took the well, it's been not really consistent. It's about the same. I just don't want to take all of these crazy drugs. I mean, I'm not a druggie. I'm not. The side effects to me were worse than. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I can't take that crap for the rest of my life. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, people they get the Tecate bug or whatever the hell, I wouldn't recommend anybody take that for like several months, like years and years on years. As I mean, my freaking vital organs will probably go out. There's, it's hair loss and male pattern baldness, and I didn't sign up for this. Ay. But I think I'm gonna do maybe the paleo diet might help with the inflammation.
That's true.
And so I told my doctor about going to the chiropractor. He was like, "Well, we need to get your autoimmune under control."
See, no,
first.
That's why I don't trust doctors. Doctors have no idea what chiropractors do. They just know that they lose patients to chiropractors because chiropractors actually work.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I'm going to do something else. I'm probably just going to do something else other than listen to him. It's not him. I mean, and then there was another option, which was ridiculous. It was really costly and it's just a mess. It's just a number. I'm just a number in the stack.
Yeah, you still got my guy?
Your guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I was embarrassed to say I was looking for that phone number. I wrote it in one of my notebooks instead of putting it in my phone. That's usually what I do when I get a number, but I didn't do it and I can't find it. So I will, it's not that far.
See if I can find him.
I think I need to go. I think it's time. I'm due for another $27 challenge. I need another $27 challenge.
You could do it.
My first bug out bag, and yeah, I think I need because it was so funny that I was like, oh, where did Wesley get that bag from? I'm better prepared to get tools now. But I need a bag. I need a bag to put my things in.
Well, it's not the bag itself isn't the most important thing. Everyone's like, you see like these designer bags out there, people spending like $700 on on a created, kit there. And it's like, that's going to hurt a lot when it gets stolen.
Oh yeah.
Survival and bugging out. It's all about your mental tools.
Yeah, well, I have this little. Well, the bag that I have in here is not even reliable. It's just like one of those little. It can't be like a equivalent to one of those cloth grocery bags. That'll never work. So I need something a little bit more durable than that. Yeah, something a little bit more durable than that. But yeah. We'll see. It's like you're on a race against time to see what's going to be open this week. Woo! The paper store is going to be open. The paper warehouse.
All right. Well, I just dropped his website to you.
Plugging it in right now.
Okay, I see it. I see. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Also, I see y'all talking about organizing. I have let me read this text message I got from a guy I met on my job.
It's a guy you met on your job.
Yeah, it says, okay, cool. We had a decent meeting. Just got off just got off a Zoom call with Life Assets. That's the organization. Life Assets, and they have money for days for the organizations which they're trying to fund my organization, Bessie LLC, conservative organization, that we bring to them. So today, it was a spirit of fatherhood. CEO COSE Terreals in the Black History Group. We look forward to meeting with you next time. That text message directly came from one of my good friends that was one of the only, I'm talking about one of the only Republican Ward 8 council candidate in my jurisdiction, in DC specifically. So he's independent now, but my point is, he's still a conservative. So I'm gonna push that narrative until the cows come home. So the fact that I'm finally getting organizations and funding, looking at this movement, this is exactly what we need, guys. We're finally getting support. We're finally getting organizations looking at us as positive and not enemies of the movement or whatever you want to call it. The black all it. He's about God. He's about whatever you want to call it. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. But he's about the higher power. He's about family structure. He's about males in the home. Alpha male. He's about not betas. Oh, get me started.
Not social engineering.
Exactly.
Not doing that.
So I got Zoom calls to do. I got personal meetings to do. I've been doing my due diligence, and I'm in the game. Finally, I'll be getting at least a $10 raise because I'm moving in the right direction as far as companies and organizations for my armed security. I'm gonna use that raise to promote my organization. Knowing this, I need everybody watching this to support my situation. And if you take the conservative movement seriously, shout out to King Face. Everybody keep him in the.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. Do you have any updates on that situation or what?
The updates are frozen right now.
They're frozen.
They're frozen. His best friend, quote unquote, hasn't came out and said nothing since the last stream that I shared to all my followers. And he definitely has a kidney infection that spread throughout his body. And he's in a coma right now. You could donate to his GoFundMe page. It's on his Instagram page. And share as many videos of King Face as you can right now. It's an attack as far as spiritual. Not gonna get into the conspiracies and all that mess because I'm level with it. But it's an attack spiritually on the conservative movement of shutting us up. I don't care what way you point. So he's the one who got me fully on board as far as going hard, like going going deep and going hard, not being scared. I don't care what people think. He's the one who got me on that vibration. So,
Well, I didn't see his interview. I saw the preview for the interview on Candace Owens' show, but I didn't watch it because I just got behind or whatever. I got behind on videos. Every now and then I get behind on watching other people's things, but I always catch up. But lately, there's just so many stories coming in. You just
there's too many people to follow.
To be honest,
yeah.
If you're not working, yeah.
I mean,
if you are working,
I don't know. I'm not impressed. I mean, the RNC, I thought that was swell and fine, but I just think there's just so many things going on right now. I'm like, please don't parade a whole bunch of rhinos out there and tell everybody how much they love the country, and when they've been undermining it for 20 and 30 and 40 years. I can't take it.
We don't need no more of this soft stuff.
But then they're also, what is it, that Ayanna Pressley and Pelosi, all these people are calling for all this unrest and stuff. I'm like, how are they legally able to do that? How are they able to tell people to, when you say organize, we know what that means. When you say unrest in the street, what do you think that means?
That's the definition of communism. Once you rise in the ranks of power, and you're there for definitely over 20 years, you can pull so many strings. You have so much funding that even if you're wrong, they'll support you. Fidel Castro. So it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong at that point. You have so much power and so much leverage in the political arena that you can leverage your money and your supporters to believe your lie.
But the thing about it is I'm saying Trump is the enemy of the state when it's actually them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I cannot deal with these people anymore.
True. And then the worst part about it is right now is the bragging that the fact that David Dorn's wife was in the Congress, and Trump spoke about David Dorn, spoke about what happened, everything. Rest in peace, David Dorn. Everybody support their campaign. The campaign goes directly, and every fund goes directly to the family and his wife. Period. I support that movement. That he was killed in cold blood, but they want to the left wants to point out that David Dorn's wife or David Dorn wasn't a Trump supporter. Why the frick is that relevant? One, like, sis, like,
at this point, I don't know. I just think that we just have there's so many enclaves of whatever going on, and I'm just like, where's the commonality? Like, can we just figure out what the commonality is and do that? Let's just do one thing well rather than let's have one group. But we don't even know what that is anymore. They've ordered everything to the point of it's exhausting.
I'm gonna put it to you like B. Tatum said. Anybody with a brainstem would say burning down your own community is not a positive message. No matter what side you're on.
Not burning anything down. It's just these useful idiots keep running out here and watching fake news and listening to Don Lemon and
Lemonhead
Chris Cuomo and the gossip rags like The View and
Don Lemonhead.
Where'd you get the lemon juice? Are you cooking?
Well,
are you cooking? Or what are you
I
cooking? over
drink
there?
a lot of beer.
Are you making a cocktail right now?
Something like that. Well, I always use lemon and lime in my beers. It's an old pirate trick. Yeah.
Lemon and lime on what?
Lemon and lime in my beers.
So what are you drinking? Oh, can I say that? Are you
Nope,
drinking?
I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking that one. I almost got it. Nope, not drinking that one. Ice House. Ice House Edge.
All right. Wow.
Not getting sponsored. Sorry. No time soon anyway.
Well, I'll do my show tomorrow. In the words of JLP, if the Lord is willing, the creek don't rise.
All will be well.
My dad used to say that.
Right. My great granddad used to say that. It's just funny.
But yeah, so like, yeah, unless I'm just tired. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, you got all these people, you got so many people that are members of the CFR that organize all this division and all this chaos. You'd just be surprised.
And one thing that begottens me is the fact that people can't openly speak out about Republicans leaving the RNC, getting attacked.
Vernon Jones, like oh my God, that was so sad what they did to Vernon Jones.
Boy,
and I'm just thinking that those cops were all there on like bikes and stuff. I'm like, what do you guys actually have if one of these numbnuts start attacking you, him, his date, and everybody? Was it Rand Paul?
Dead bodies.
They were after him. It's like, this is the after party.
If it was bricks going to their head, they'll be on live. So they need to figure out their initial response and stop listening to their.
Are you a Black Trump supporter?
Black lesbians that are ruling. He's got that going.
It's time for you to be. It's time for your gut check.
It's funny because the black lesbian is ruling. The black lesbians are ruling my city right now.
What?
Yes, the mayor. My mayor is a black lesbian. So
wait a minute, who's your mayor? Your
mayor of DC?
Yes, mayor of DC. Let me pull it up.
I mean, is she like a good-looking one, or?
She's married. We call her like.
She's not the.
No,
I once called her London Broil, but it's
Marion Bowser. Mario Bowser. Excuse me. Mario Bowser.
There's some serious.
And she's the one who put Black Lives Matter. She's the one who put Black Lives Matter in paint in DC. So
wait a minute, how do you guys do that whole tri-county, that tri-state situation? So
the DMV thing. Virginia doesn't agree with DC. DC doesn't agree with Maryland. So it's not necessarily.
I tell you, one of the most confusing things is Dulles Airport or frickin' Reagan. It's like, what the heck?
Right.
Is it like one's on the side of the bridge? And now I've been to Reston before. Is it Reston? Yeah, I guess it's the suburbs or whatever. But I think we had to go to Dulles to get to go there. Yeah, but that was a long time ago, and I had to drop that guy because he was toxic, and his friend was toxic.
Understood.
He's still toxic.
But yeah, man, it's a lot of things that's going on right now, and
what can I say? Stay safe, or as Derek C. Williams says, alone together. What does that mean, alone together?
Alone together. Alone together. You're alone, but you're together in the ideology that you're united in your mind. I guess I don't know. But go along and get along is a dangerous thing. I'm realizing that that's what the rhinos have been pushing lately. If they would have that, the only thing our brain just keeps flashing on is that if they had promoted and shown via video these insurrectionists and riots in the streets and murders or whatever, the guy who got his brains roundhouse kicked when he was sitting down after getting out of that truck, once they pulled him out of the truck trying to save somebody else's life because he's white, so they want to kill him.
So you think that they needed to present that to the people on that?
That's the only way. It literally is people that don't even know it exists. Like literally, once I mentioned it to Democratic family members, that they just go they all they say is I don't agree with it, but by the time I show them, it's the first time.
They can't stop voting Democrats. They can't. For people that can't stop voting Democrats, I don't know if they need. Now, this is no offense not directly directed at your family, but I'm saying for those people that cannot stop, maybe it's time for them to go sit down on somebody's couch and talk about it. You know, Daddy only loves me if he beats me. Maybe it's time. You know, just like you gotta talk to somebody, because I can't help you with that anymore. It's almost time that we're gonna be picking up arms here in a minute.
It ain't nothing but a monkey in their head doing, it ain't nothing but a monkey in their head doing like,
what was it?
Going
like,
that's all that's going on in their brain.
I don't think the Underground Railroad would have ever been successful if we had these zombies that we have right now. We never.
Exactly.
Nobody's coming out on the other side.
Exactly.
No, come with us. You can be free. But no, I want to stay on the plantation for my crumbs.
Exactly. I mean,
there's all this ticket. And then the thing about it is, did you hear, what was it, Ice Cube? It's like, well, what are they doing? They're talking about getting Trump out, but when they get him out, then what? That'll happen within the first 100 days. I'm like, what the hell are you complaining about? You've made plenty of money with your NWA and this and that. You made plenty of money.
He started the whole F the police movement.
See, that's what I'm saying. So he was up there whimpering and whining about, oh, well, what do we get? I don't see anything for a contract with the black. I mean, what kind of contract are you looking for? Are you talking about reparations? You're not going to get that.
But you want to turn around and be every police when it comes to being on film.
I just wish these people would just get these degenerates, just get out of the way. Just get out of here. You're not, like, these people don't know or not like us. They're still, no matter what they say, they're not like us.
Exactly.
You know, what have I seen, those stupid commercials like LL Cool J? No, we're gonna be all right, baby.
I knew you were gonna say LL Cool J. I knew it. And he's also a black leader as far as image, that is also flipped the script and ends up a police figure in film again. So
it's just all scams.
Those guys that's always saying something.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's like just some people, they cannot. Like I said, I have a friend that lives in Maryland. Her name is Marilyn.
Nice. That's my grandmother's name.
But Marilyn has been sipping on ice cool plantation juice.
Oh yeah.
For so long. I'm like, look, I don't have time. Look, you can't come into this situation for an episode. It's a little thick. The truth is thick. And I can't do everything for you. But you can keep whining and crying because you're black and da 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 da. And I understand why these people, you know, they say, oh, well, black people are naturally conservative. So why the hell are they crying about being black? God made them black. God made you the way you are. Accept it and move on. Be the best black person you can be.
Exactly. No excuses.
Stop crying about it and saying that everybody owes you. Well, this person did this and I can't do this. If you want something, go out here and get it.
Get it. Put your
Stop
mind
saying
to it.
somebody else is holding you back. Holding you back. I'm so sick of that. I'm just saying, you're gonna look. Our population is dropping. Is look at all of this. What did they say? Like 1,000 people in Chicago? What, for the summer?
Yep. So
What? How much more? How many more perversions of genocide do you need between Planned Parenthood, the black on black crime? I mean,
they don't want to accept it.
how much more do you need? You know. Yeah, people with pre-existing conditions. People, you know, if you have high blood pressure, you probably shouldn't go to McDonald's multiple times a week.
Thank you. Easy. Wow. Easy. That was easy. Wasn't it?
As probably you shouldn't do it. But you know, I'm just saying, you know, the people that are doing all the complaining are the ones that are also out there getting shot up or shooting other people up. But they're blaming somebody else. What was it? Did you see that 50,000 people? What was that? Al Sharptongue managed to get 50,000 people. But see, you can't get them to go do anything else. You can't get them to go to the DMV and get a driver's license. But they'll jump for Al Sharpton. All Sharpton has to say is, how high y'all gonna jump for me? I'm a part of the civil rights movement.
He was and is, and still, I don't care what nobody says, a CIA operative. He got caught eventually. When he was fat, he was doing his business as far as getting payroll. But by the time he got skinny, smoking crack with the last mayor of DC before he died, not.
Oh my God, that guy. What's his name? Mary something. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I remember seeing something about the mayor. The one that Jesse says, he was like, "Do you really want your kid to walk down the street and say, 'Daddy, who is that man?'" And he's like,
"You're cracking." I'm sorry. I know. I can't.
Jesse is priceless. You know, but you know, he did a straight Pride week. Weekend rally this weekend. That was actually, you know, one of the speakers they had was pretty fantastic.
Ain't number God.
But yeah, it was something else.
I'm about to play this one clip and then commentary, and we will be getting off in pretty soon. Depends on how this thing goes, but here we go. Let's see. Here goes Lemonhead. I apologize.
It's time for Mama to go
Greasy lip bitch, Donna Lamone.
I apologize.
You can't today. Yeah, no, you don't. No, I don't. No, you and I, we're proof. Do you think that race plays a part in wealth distribution, or either a mindset that you can't today? Or cannot? Yeah, no, you don't. No, I don't. No, you and I, we're proof.
Exactly.
Why would race have anything to do with it?
Exactly.
Put your mind to what you want to do and go for that.
Yes.
It's kind of like religion to me. It's a good excuse for not getting there.
Where are we in the United States of America in race relations and what you see from day to day in your life?
Skip, they wouldn't want to ask me that. They wouldn't want my answer to represent it because God knows I have been nothing but blessed. My whole path, these 33 years have been nothing but a blessing. I have never, never is a strong word, never dealt with racism, and I'm glad I didn't have to.
There is a class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. There is a certain class of race problem solvers who don't want the patient to get well. That was said.
Ooh, that burns.
By Booker T. Washington.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
Boom.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
You know, it's frustrating to me that people take race and they make it personal. You know what I mean? Like we're at a loss in this generation. If you look at it in the 80s, Archie Bunker was a stark racist. Stark. If you don't know who Archie Bunker is, look him up. All in the Family, great show. The Jeffersons, stark racist. Fred Sanford, stark racist. But you know what black people and white people did? They laughed.
Got that money.
You watch 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. Both of them hated each other because he was black and because he was white. You know what they did? They laughed.
But I asked you what the racial breakdown was of your audience. Do you remember this? You told me the only black face you could see in the whole audience was your makeup artist. I believe that's what you said. And she was in the front row, right? A lot of white kids love rap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explain that. What does that say to you? What's the message of it? What's the bigger picture of it?
They're gonna hate this.
I don't want to be bashed because I don't want to sound like I'm on the wrong if there is a
Facts.
side.
He already
But
knew it was gonna
I
be
thought
bashed.
that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism. That's what I thought that was.
You know, I said, and it's probably getting me in trouble, but I said to some of my colleagues recently, so I know that it's an issue, but it seems like every single day on television, I'm talking about race, and it's because of the news cycle. It's in the news. But sometimes I get so tired of talking about it. I want to just go, this is over. Can we move on?
And if you talk about it, it exists.
Tired of it. I can see he's so
It's not
tired
like
of
it
it.
exists and we refuse to talk about it. But making it a bigger issue than it needs to be is the problem we have.
And right now, we are in a society where we can't have a conversation because no one's willing to listen.
People are just shouting.
People are just
Whatever they
shouting.
think.
People are walking down the street, hashtagging everything, but no one's listening.
Using wrong examples to present an argument leads us nowhere forward. I understand the emotion and I respect my opposition, but when you go into the areas of making false charges and living in the past, you do not address the issues of the present.
And, you know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. And Roman delves into the issues around the legal system. Do you think we've made any headway in the
I
legal
think it's more important to make headway in our own house.
Thank you.
By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
In the 1960s, 80+% of blacks were two-parent homes. Today, that is reversed completely the other way.
I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these
You
little
said a
kids
couple
on
of
bikes
3 or 4 weeks ago.
with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, "Yeah, they're little yummies." I said, "Who?" He said, "Little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy." Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
It makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father?
No one wants to talk about perception when it comes to racial profiling. No one wants to talk about stereotypes when it comes to racial profiling.
Blacks are convinced that the number one issue facing the country right now is social justice, racist white cops, discrimination, systemic racism, microaggression, whatever new word they come up with. And it's a bunch of nonsense.
This is what I know. I'm a certified scuba diver. My first day of class, they told me this. When you're in shark-infested waters, everything in that water is considered a threat until proven otherwise. If it's a guppy, it could be a shark until you know it's a guppy. And I think as black men, we need to realize we're in shark-infested waters. And if we don't sit our young men down and we don't talk to them about perception, and we don't talk to them about stereotypes, we're doing them a huge disservice.
It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
Yeah.
You know, like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25. One did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father. in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example, and they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up. At 13, my parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing, and the system got them. So I don't, the system is rigged, but why? All the more reason not to help it.
The number one problem domestically facing this country is a breakdown of the family. And President Obama said it. I didn't. A black kid, or a kid, not just a black kid, a kid raised without a dad is 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crimes, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. So you're far more likely to end up in jail without having a dad than you are because of a white racist cop.
Prime example, I got pulled over by the police, come over to my window, flash his light in my face, hand on my pistol. I can handle that 2 ways. I can start yelling and screaming and tell him he a racist and he don't know me. You're doing this wrong. Or I can say, yes, officer, no, officer,
boom,
we done, officer.
Wow.
And both of them are going to have drastically different outcomes.
Half the homicides in this country are committed by and against black people. Last year, there were 14,000 homicides, not talking about suicides. I'm talking about homicides. Half of them were black, 96% of them black on black of that 7,000. Where's the Black Lives Matter people on that?
What happens with young black men, everything is susceptible to the question of your manhood.
Exactly.
And what's going on in these streets ain't got nothing to do with my manhood.
Interesting.
If I'm gonna fight a police, I'm gonna fight him in a controlled environment, a court of law. I'm not gonna fight him on the streets.
In Baltimore, where Freddie Gray was killed, Freddie Gray died in a van. I shouldn't say was killed, died in a van.
Yeah.
You have a city that's 45% black. City council is 100% Democrat. The majority of city council is black. The top cop at the time was black. The number 2 cop was black. The majority of the command staff is black. The mayor is black. The AG is black. And yet here we are talking about racism. I mean, it's absurd.
All cops aren't bad cops. 99% of cops are really good dudes and women. I've 99% of the people I've met that are cops are dope. I have a lot of friends that are cops.
Thank you.
But that 1%, that's the problem. And you want to give yourself every opportunity not to end up a statistic.
965 people were shot by cops last year and killed. 4% of them were white cops shooting unarmed blacks. In Chicago in 2011, 21 people were shot and killed by cops. In 2015, there were 7. In Chicago, which is a third black, a third white, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are black on black. About 40 per month, almost 500 per year last year in Chicago, and 75% of them are unsolved. Where's the Black Lives Matter on that? The idea that a racist white cop and shooting unarmed black people is a peril to black people is BS.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Thank you.
You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh,
Exactly.
What do you do with yours?
Jewish.
Which month is White History Month? No,
Well-
well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either.
Boom. Wow.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
Abraham Lincoln, as my
Exactly.
colleague said, fought a war to preserve the Union. That republic allowed for the people of the United States under our Constitution to amend it, therefore removing slavery and then moving forward to the Voting and Civil Rights Act and also the suffrage movement for women.
That same time, and you would say it as strong as anyone, it's no excuse for bombing and destroying your own neighborhood. And burning down wherever it's happening, burning down storefronts and stores that people
with mobs is how they get turned into that.
Yeah.
What's to be gained? You know, you stop for one split second to think. Burning and looting doesn't help you in any way.
I understand y'all upset. But like it was already said, I doubt y'all and y'all half as upset as I am. So if I'm not over here
It's
wilding
Floyd's
out,
brother.
if I'm not over here blowing up stuff, if I'm not over here messing up my community, come on. Then what are y'all doing?
I will always continue to say
That's his brother.
that riots are socially destructive and self-defeating. I'm still convinced that non-violence is the most potent weapon available to oppress people in their struggle for freedom and justice. I feel that violence will only create more social problems than they will solve.
Let's switch it up, y'all. Let's switch it up. Do this peacefully. Please. My brother moved here from Houston. And I used to talk to him on the phone. He loved it here. He started driving truck. He was good. So I highly doubt. No, I don't know. I know he would not want y'all to be doing this.
So I will continue to condemn riots and continue to say to my brothers and sisters that this is not the way. Continue to affirm that there is another way.
What's your comment?
All right, DJ. I'm down my last spoon now.
All right, that was I was about to say. That was it.
Well, actually, I only had 2 spoons, so you kind of got the last the last half of the last one.
All right. How y'all feel about that last one now?
It's good. Morgan Freeman grew up in the Jim Crow South.
Exactly.
So watching, pansy ass freaking Don Lemon try to correct Morgan Freeman on race relations and how they're so, oppressed now. He remembers growing up and being yelled at to sit at the back of the bus, for crying out loud. And he's sitting across from a man who makes millions of dollars a year. Okay, they both make, they're worth so much. Morgan Freeman appreciates it because he realized he couldn't have done that 100 years ago.
Exactly.
Don Lemon's just like, well, we're just black men in America. Nobody cares. Nobody, everyone ignores us, dude. You're worth millions of dollars. Okay, lots of people see you. I mean, most of your audience is white, for crying out loud. I mean, you love white people so much, you married a white man, and your colon gets colonized by white power every night.
Wait.
That's probably their sick little game. He's on live television saying, and the biggest danger is radicalized white men. Then he comes home, hey, baby, you want to get radicalized tonight?
I feel like we had this conversation before. This just feels like that. This is deja vu. This feels like deja vu.
No, it's a similar stream that I always come across when I'm talking about friggin' greasy lip bitch Don Lemon.
Yeah, I can't take that guy.
Me neither. Lemonhead needs to. He just needs to stop it. He needs to stop it.
He's getting paid for his crime.
You got a $4 million house and you still complaining about being oppressed when nobody's coming into your gated community trying to tear your house down with arms.
Well, I'm gonna say this. After I saw that documentary, Uncle Tom, I think Herman Cain had a similar. They all had their philosophy to racism is all very similar. It's just. I think what was it? They asked Herman Cain, how did you deal with racism? And
my man said, I let them deal with it.
I don't. I just let them deal with it.
Exactly.
Meet me at the bank. Just like my dad says, meet me
on paper. But before Malcolm X died, he said, see me on paper.
But I don't. But they want to make it. They want to be traumatized. They need a traumatizing they could feel 400 years of something that they didn't go through. You tell me how that works.
Don Lemon's net worth is $10 million.
Yeah, he's struggling really bad.
Wow.
He's on the poverty line.
He's being oppressed when he goes home. So
But I appreciate it. I appreciate you for having me on here, and
no problem. I appreciate all you guys and everybody who's joining in here. Getting off here like right now. So appreciate everybody who joined this live stream and who's watching this, who didn't join it but had added onto this, watching it on my YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys for your support. Like, follow, share, and subscribe to Black Spring with Autumn and Old School Wolf Media. Appreciate you guys.
Hopefully I'll be broadcasting tomorrow night.
Yes,
Things are
sir.
slowing down for me.
Yep, I will be working tomorrow. So tune in, but who knows how long.
I will tune in I will be in my normal Groundhog's Day. Yeah.
All right. So appreciate you guys and tuning out.
Night, everyone.
Night.